Welcome back to Bookview TV. Now, our guests this week are 5 authors from Onion Custard Publishing here in Wales. We pick up our discussion with a look at the reasons why this group chose a trade show to market and brand both themselves and their books.
Well, I think solicitors are our business at the end of the day, aren't we? We need to get out there. We need to say hello to people. We're not a group. Well, often we are a group of people that don't like to advertise. Somebody said to me that I don't like to advertise because it'll think that I don't have enough work coming in.
So I want business clients in this room to say, come and talk to me about the training you do in India, which you write about in your book.
Because with business owners such as the type of people we see today, recruitment is a real difficult arena. It's full of smoke and mirrors, it's full of people that will charge you a huge amount of money. This is a gentle way to introduce what I do as Bloody Recruiter, because everybody knows someone who's going to be going for an interview. It might not be today, and it might not be the individuals in this room, but it will be their wives, their partners, their girlfriends. It's about spreading the reach.
Well, things have changed in business really, and we're just a service like other services out there. And so I want to put a face to the fact that we're quite approachable, really, solicitors. Some of them are, at least, and that's why I've written this book. So you can kind of breaks down that barrier. You don't want to go and see a solicitor; it's going to be too expensive, it's going to be too stuffy, not going to understand what they say. Well, that's not the case really with all of us.
It is a very large business card. It replaces a brochure that we would have had 10 years ago. It works with a website, and the website will grow and have other aspects of it, podcasts, video interviews. But it is a calling card, you're absolutely right.
The book is not meant to be in itself a publishing tool. It's a way of getting interest in my training courses in the UK.
Doing law school, all the books are pretty sort of boring, really, and I wanted to make it a bit different, stand out, match my personality, and that I'm not stuffy, I'm not boring, and just to make it a bit of fun. So people actually think, yeah, I might pick up that book, I'll have a read of it, it's got an interesting cover. So yeah, just matching my personality, really.
You have to be realistic about the competitive nature of publishing, and traditional publishing houses will see 200 manuscripts a week, and most of them will be read the first paragraph of the first chapter, and if whoever's reading it doesn't like it, it's gone straight away. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression when there's so much competition. Every year in the English language there's 700,000 titles released every single year. That's a big pool to be playing in, so you have to be realistic. As a company, I'm now placed in trade channels. I've got my first orders going through the trade channels to suppliers who do supply Waterstones. My goal is to see authors who are published with me in the high street by the end of 2014. That's my goal.
The ideas in the book are our ideas, but they come from years of working with great managers. So all we've done is package them. We're not saying we own Hambo. We like people to share it and use it. We want to be seen as, or I want to be seen as the Hambo man. So if people start using it and phone us up and want to do it in different ways, we're really happy with it. Open source is
Why write a book? My little head is full of lots and lots of information, and clients and candidates have told me over a very long period of time that I should be doing more to widen my reach. The first time book, I'm going to be going into schools and talking to educators about why they don't really teach these real world skills in a school environment. I'd love to see every child leave secondary school with one of these in their hands to really start to understand what the commercial world looks like. The recruitment process is a process like any other. It's a game that we all play, whether we are recruiting for our business or whether we are getting a new job.
My book is there as a general guide, so people don't necessarily all need to go to a lawyer. They can get some basic information from there. But if you would spend a couple of £100 on a good contract, then it's going to save you in the long term, because if you don't have a good contract, or you don't have a contract at all, for example, then it may cost you later down the line when things go wrong and you need to try and get money out of people, or they're suing you for something. If you'd have only got a good contract in the first place, then you will have helped avoid that at a later stage. So it's in your long-term interest, really, to spend a couple of quid at the beginning to get everything right.
Well, in the book there are some comparisons between the Indian business culture and UK business culture. So I would be advising people to buy the book, partly because it will allow them to look at their way of doing business through somebody else's eyes. But I obviously hope that they'll read about my training courses in India and think our staff need that training as well back.
Why a trade show? This was a test. This was a trial run to see how it would go. Could we get people to start writing their book in June and have it published out there by December? The answer is yes. The evidence is here. A couple of the authors have taken a bit longer to write, but by and large the majority of them actually started June, July, August was when they did the workshop, and how they've now got themselves into print. My plan for next year is I want a show this big, just filled with authors, just filled with book people, and as a book fair, and as a platform for 30 or 40 authors to be launching and to be publicising their books. Because ultimately it doesn't matter who the publisher is, it's all about the book. If the book is good, people will buy it. People don't really care who's on the back, who issued the ISBN, that's irrelevant. Is the book quality? And that's one of my things, is I only want to print good books. I only want to print things that are quality titles.
I didn't see much out there in terms of law for startup businesses. There are lots of books to help you get on in business and to improve your business. But me as a lawyer, obviously I'm going to say that law is important, and you need to think about things. You can't just go into it blind, because it could come back and bite you at a later date. So you need to make it sure that it's right at the very beginning, and that will hopefully avoid problems later.
Once you know the rules of that game, you've got a much better chance of winning. And unfortunately, when you leave school, college or university, you have no idea you are playing the game. You think that people genuinely like you and genuinely want to spend time with you. Actually, they're putting you through their sausage machine of process.
The model Pambo is from Michael's research, from Michael's professional background, working with businesses of all sizes across various sectors. Simply my challenge and part of the book was putting a story around the model and sitting with Michael and developing this concept into an actual book.
I've tried not to turn it into a technical book on India. So my whole approach is, I'm a UK business traveller, I encounter something, I don't try and understand it in depth, it amuses me, I see the odd side of it, so I've decided I'll write that down.
Get the right information. If it's not from me, work out how you are going to get your book finished before you even think about necessarily getting it published. But know your audience. Why are you writing the book? That is that's where I start the workshop. Why are you writing this book? Is it purely for the joy of writing? That's great. There are maybe 20 different reasons to write a book, and in the workshop I never get the same show of hands for the same combination of why people are actually writing the book that they're writing. It's a unique thing, it's a unique experience. But once you understand why you're writing it, you then write for the audience, and your book you can then finish your book.
So there you have it, a group of authors as professionals selling books the Willie Sutton way. Who's he, you might ask? Well, Willie was a very famous bank robber who once said, "I rob banks because that's where the money is." Well, the authors whom you met today, they went to a business trade show because that's where the customers for their books are. Now, time will tell, but it looks like print on demand is here to stay, and traditional publishers should be very, very worried. Thanks again for joining us on BookView TV. Tune in again next time when another author will once again sit across the Skype table and we'll discuss books, the craft of writing, and the art of selling them. I'm Dennis Campbell saying thank you for joining us.